Hello everybody, we got another Starcraft 2 replay. Thank you for joining us. Let's go ahead and get into this game. This game is a 2v2 with the player KymHyunJun and his partner faDeEvan. We get submissions from both players quite regularly actually. Gotta thank them both for sending in their replays, giving us something to cast. I'm actually not sure who sent this one in. If I had to put my money on it, I would probably say Evan. But I wouldn't put very much money on it because I'm not sure of that at all. Anyway, on the opposing team, we have Arjuna. Arjuna, that's not too hard, I guess, as the purple Terran. And we have his teammate, Exogenesis, as the teal Protoss. Alright. Standard stuff for now, just supply depots, an extractor for KymHyunJun, but it was just that extractor Zerg, or extractor trick. Holy crap, this is going to be a difficult cast if I'm already botching it. First Overlord looks like he's going to scout these, this corner position. This is kind of an interesting map because it is a 2v2 map. It's got 3 standard spawn locations, but, you know, normally 2 of them are only ever full. There's the first refinery for Arjuna. Barracks is going down for KymHyunJun, I think before the refinery started. I have no idea what they're talking about. Fast expansion, there we go. It's safer. Yeah, well, that's probably true. You are going to create quite a problem when KymHyunJun needs room to build buildings, though. That creep is going to constrict KymHyunJun pretty badly. But now we'll worry about that later if it gets to that point. First, we still have that wall going down. Looks like we have a tech lab for Arjuna at this point. KymHyunJun is starting with that orbital command before getting a tech lab or reactor or even a second barracks at this point. Do have the standard gateway cyber core coming out. No, not all the chrono boosts are being saved for warp gate tech. Sorry, bit of a brain fart there. Need to eat more, I don't know, blueberries or something. Oh my gosh, lag. Alright, and it looks like 2 entrances. This one is walled off though. That's going to make attacking by ground really rather dangerous unless they break these down, because a couple of siege tanks on this line will absolutely pound everything. And we do have Arjuna and Exogenesis holding this watchtower, kind of excessive. But there we see the probe going out, and it does get intercepted by that Marine. Is in a little bit of trouble, and it's toast. There it goes. Second barracks is down for Arjuna. No production out of them yet, though. Do have Evan's Zerg finally deciding to pull out. Not worth sticking around. Arjuna does go ahead and decide to close off that wall. So KymHyunJun and faDeEvan are both aware of what exactly is going on. We're seeing a 3 gate here. Warp gate tech is almost done, just another 30 seconds. With that 4th gate on the way out. So we are seeing kind of a delayed 4 gate. Not by much though, just slightly delayed. 4 gate by Exogenesis. And 3 racks from Arjuna. This is going to be a very firepower directed, very early game oriented attack plan for Arjuna and Exogenesis. With the expansion and with the expansion for Evan, he's thinking much later game, and KymHyunJun here I'm sure could take this gold expansion without too much trouble. Now this pylon does create a bit of a problem, and we do see the Exogenesis is starting to build up forces outside the wall here, but without any kind of high ground vision, these stalkers aren't going to be able to do much unless they want to go up these rocks or all the way around. Looks like a couple of spine crawlers were cancelled there, and the creep is continuing to be spread. Evan is pretty good with that. Do have the first tank out. Siege mode is up as well, so it is going to make this area pretty hard to take. You have the first batch of roaches now, and a second expansion for Evan. He's being very aggressive in his economic expanding, I guess, economic conquests. Do you see the looks like we have a bit of a walls are being attacked here. Did have a bit of a dispute over which which expansions go to which players. This siege tank here was able to repel the attackers from that ledge, though. Looks like they are going to go ahead and try and swing around, though. This tank does need to place a siege mode, and looks like he is cutting production in favor of that expansion. There it goes. And those are going to step into range. Just that's kind of uncanny how close that is. Man, one more step. Not the best place to be. Losing quite a few of those sentries right there, where the tanks continue to hammer from the high ground. This engagement is going very poorly for the Protoss player. Very bad commitment, though. He should have waited for his ally, which is only now rolling in. They're going to be hit by these siege tanks all in the same. They should have stuck together in that attack. Now they're kind of screwed. There is a sizable force from Arjuna, but it's not going to do much against both KymHyunJun and Evan by itself. Very bad commitment to attack in that instance right there. Very bad decision making, if I may say so. They don't have very much scouting information. They pretty much only know that there's expansion there and that this is where their base is at. It looks like Zerglings are taking out this pylon, want to prevent any more forward warpins. And if I were these Zerglings, I would go ahead and get to work on those rocks. But we do have Evan taking this north corner expansion, deciding to expand pretty far away from his own base, actually. Do have the Vestvin geyser going down. Another orbital command is on the way out. A lot of tanks. Pretty much Kym has just moved all his units to the low ground. Looks like he's planning to take a more defensible stance or grab some information. Not more defensible, but a more forward position. Nope, looks like they're pressing forward. Maybe do a counterattack these back rocks. Do have the Zerglings sweeping in from the side. Looks like they're on guard duty, though. Couple of tanks taking position in the rear. He's actually doing a pretty good job of spreading these out. And it looks like he's going to go ahead and bottleneck this entrance to just kind of keep everybody away from him. He knows exactly when his opponents are going to move out now, because they have to come out of here. And they will be entering Kym's vision range. We've got a medevac full of Marines going out. This base is up and running now, beginning to get saturated. Bunch of Overlords sitting over here in the corner. Just thought I'd poke around at those. And here is the medevac going straight for the probe line. Takes out 1, 2, 3 probes, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is a round of Zealot warpins, but you just go ahead and pick up and pull on out. Very effective, actually. Nice harassment. This was only an expansion, not the main, which may have been a little more effective, but hey, he's still got 300 minerals worth of probes. Do see a drone split here. From which base, I'm not sure, but I guess it doesn't really matter. A lot of drones going to go ahead and saturate this mineral line. These tanks are a little vulnerable from air, but their opponents aren't going for really any air tech. We do have a starport out, but as of yet, it hasn't built anything. A lot of Marauders, though. A whole 27 of them. Now that's going to make dealing with these, it's going to make these tanks' job pretty hard in trying to take out Marauders. A bunch of Marines mixed in there, so hopefully they do fairly well. But looks like Arjuna is starting to push out, and he hasn't seen the tanks yet. But it looks like that's exactly where he's headed. Couple of Marines moving in, just kind of grabbing that scouting information. And it looks like they're actually not going to engage and try and slip by. Go ahead and destroy these rocks. Kind of a poor decision in my opinion. You see all of faDeEvan's forces moving out. Tanks are repositioning here, more towards the center to grab a better angle. Zerg is in the back, which actually is probably not where they want to be. Do have Evan grabbing this. And I can hear stuff exploding, but not sure what it is. Oh, we got Dark Templar. Sorry about that, guys. Took me forever to find that. And these Dark Templar are toast. They are moving outside of vision range, though. How did those guys get in? Is that a warp prism, or it must have been? You have this natural expansion going down finally. Looks like Arjuna chose to engage at that point. Didn't look very well for him, though. With those siege tanks in the back, it looks like these forces got hammered pretty hardly. Now there were a couple of losses here on Evan's side, or Kim's side, but most of them, they were pretty minimal in comparison. This mineral line is way oversaturated. Problem is he can't move out now because they're so close. Kind of an overexpenditure of those banelings, not a... Tanks do move up, are attacking from the flank. They just got to get by this wall, and those banelings are going to just create havoc. If you have those banelings moving in, that tank was absolutely obliterated. We do see an elevator from Kim here lifting Marines and tanks into the main. A lot of roaches sitting in here now. Bunch of banelings alive as well, but these force fields are making these banelings pretty ineffective. Those banelings finally do move in. There are only stalkers here though, so it's costing quite a bit to bring them down. Handful of banelings left, a bunch of roaches and marines though, and it looks like this is gonna get cleaned up pretty hard. Alright, we do have that Immortal out, and it's not going to do a lot. The tech choice by Exogenesis, I don't know if I agree with. He went into this 4 warp gate, but chose to engage without his partner. You have a Dark Templar here, and no scouting. I don't know how long those are going to be effective, though. There is the Overseers, and there go the Dark Templar. Siege changes after you destroying the natural expansion here. Seemed to me Exogenesis spread himself pretty thin on his tech. He didn't put in enough resources or units, and kind of overspent himself, if that makes much sense. He did have a lot of minerals there at the end, but he had so many tech choices he just couldn't commit to anything. and he chose to engage without his partner, which did not go well. He did try a rather good tactic in using the Dark Templar, but at this point in the game, where you can just spend 50 minerals and change an Overseer to an Overlord, it's pretty ineffectual at this point. The economy base of Evan here is absolutely phenomenal. 1, 2, 3, with 4 and 5 and 6 going up now. Pretty well done. He did do really good managing his economy. His macro is absolutely phenomenal. I think that's what they were practicing with this game. KymHyunJun did have quite a bit of staying power with these tanks, able to fend off kind of that first wave from Exogenesis. Did very good job in unit composition. Marine tank medevac apparently still does really well against both Protoss and Zerg. Anyway, this is Phobos with BronzeLeagueGaming. If you want us to cast one of your games, send it to BronzeLeaguePerspective@hotmail.com. Once again, that's BronzeLeaguePerspective@hotmail.com. Thanks for checking us out, and hopefully we'll see you again.